Top of the morning, everyone. Welcome to M Sport on Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM, the first and only business radio station in Nigeria. Of course, you know, this is your station of choice. Thank God it's Friday, the weekend is here, and rest is near. And of course, it is a special edition of M Sport because today is Good Friday. So happy Good Friday to you all, sport fans and everyone listening to Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM. Happy holidays to our fans all over the world. Welcome on board. My name is Isaiah Akiremi. You know the deal right now. It's time to take you through the length and breadth of the exciting, intriguing, pulsating world of sports. What a weekend on our hands, especially the Emirates FA Cup. Talking about the oldest club competition in the world. Let's start this morning as basketball meets football in Africa. The president of Basketball Africa League, talking about Amadou Gallo, paid a gutsy visit to the home of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, in Cairo, where he met and held discussions with CAF General Secretary, talking about Vero Mosenga Homba. This was a follow-up meeting following previous interactions with CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe at the African Cup of Nations final in Cameroon in February 2022. Fall and Mosengo Homba discussed initiatives relating to growing the sports industry in Africa and possible areas of collaboration. A good one, talking about basketball and football meeting each other on the continent of Africa. Let's move ahead and inform you this morning that the delegation of Egypt girls for Sunday's FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup third round first leg encounter with Nigeria's Flamengos has arrived in the Federal Capital Territory. Talking about Abuja, Flamengos, don't forget, bumped their counterpart from the Democratic Republic of Congo 8-0 on aggregate. Talking about 3-0 in Kinshasa and 5-0 Molina in Benin City last month, and will reach the final round of the qualifiers if they fly past their Egyptian counterpart, where both teams are clash at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja on Sunday, April 17th, with the return leg to take place in Cairo on Friday, April 30th. The winner on aggregate will tango with the winner of the fixture between Ethiopia and South Africa for a place at this year's FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup, which will be staged in India from 11th to 30th October. Meanwhile, the Ivorian match officials are appointed by the Confederation of African Football. For Sunday's encounter are also in Nigeria, led by Natacha Garandikonan, who is the referee. The others are Lou General Daniel Tala, the assistant referee 1, Ndenko Edwige Apiala, assistant referee 2, and Zomdre Sonia Kore, who is the fourth official. The match commissioner is Mavet Use Sadiqa from Sudan, still staying with women football. And of course, let's bring you news because Randy Wandrom is in the news this morning, clearing the news concerning the captain of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Super Falcons coach, the American Randy Wandrom, has dispelled a media report that Barcelona Femini forward Asisa Oshuala has been stripped of the team's captaincy. The American insisted that there had been no fallout between him and Oshuala or any member of his backroom staff in Oshuala's absence. Don't forget, Onome Hebi has captained the team in their last 3 games, fueling speculations that she may have been stripped of the armband. And Randy Wandrom is saying this morning Asisa Oshuala is still the captain of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Meanwhile, Oshuala is expected to resume full training with Barcelona next month ahead of the 2022 Women's African Cup of Nations bid for Morocco from July 2nd to 23rd. And of course, she is expected to captain the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Moving straight to the Nigerian Football Federation, the NFF, and let's bring you news about appointments for the various national teams of the Super Eagles. Not forgetting the Chan Eagles, well, following the recommendation of its Technical and Development Subcommittee, the Executive Committee of the Nigerian Football Federation has approved the appointment of Salisu Yusuf as the head coach of the Super Eagles B, otherwise known as the Chan team, as well as the Under-23 Olympic teams. Okay, Yusuf, who was a head coach of the Super Eagles B when the team emerged the runner-up of the African Nations Championship in Morocco in 2018, will work with Kennedy Boboye, who is the assistant coach, Fatai Osho, assistant coach, Abubakar Bala Mohamed, who is also the assistant coach, Fidelis Ilichuku, assistant coach, Ebo Brezela, Uja Momerela, the match analyst, and Ike Shoromu, goalkeeper trainer, and Suleiman Shaibu, who is a goalkeeper trainer too, in other appointments. Well, Ladan Boso retains his position as the head coach of the under-20 boys. He will work with former under-17 coach Fatai Hamau, Oladuni Oyekale, Jolomi Atune Hali, and Barua Olatunji Abidin for the under-17 boys. Golden Eaglet Unduka Ogbadi was named head coach. Well, he will work with Ahmad Lawad Dankoli, Omoni Aruna Hilerika, Jemi Daniel, and Mohamed Nasru Hisa Ogbadi. Don't forget, captained Nigeria's first cadet team that won the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in China in 1985. For the Under-13, Under-15 boys known as the Future Eagles, Patrick Bassi will be the head coach and will work with Abdullahi Tabio Umaru, the assistant coach, Mohamed Kali Kachala, the assistant coach, also Ifayuba, assistant coach. There is Alhaji Mohamed Kwarangala, the assistant coach, and Abubakar Abdullahi, the goalkeepers trainer. Well, the NFF also stated that a new head coach for the Super Eagles will be announced and officially unveiled once the processes for his engagement and contract signing are concluded. West Stadium Sports on Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM. Well, in the same vein, former Super Eagles winger Finidi George has been appointed an assistant coach in the Super Eagles. Well, Finidi will work as second assistant coach, while Salisu Yusuf will act as the first assistant coach. The former Ajax Amsterdam star is the current head coach of the Nigerian Professional Football League side. Talking about Ehimba, other appointees announced by the Nigerian Football Federation, Usman Abdallah, who is the third assistant coach, and of course, Ike Choromu will act as the goalkeepers trainer. Let's move ahead and bring you news concerning the Nigerian Professional Football League. Benga Gubote is in the news this morning. He has opened the book of lamentation and has called for better playing pitches for Nigerian professional football clubs, especially calling for the renovation of the embattled Atlanta home turf. Remo played a goalless draw against Atlanta, the Nazi Millionaires, at the Dan Hayam Stadium in Owerri, but Ogumbote blamed the condition of the pitch for the result. Ogumbote, the Oracle, hinted that the condition of the pitch might be one of the reasons that the Nazi Millionaires might be languishing in the relegation zone. Don't forget, the Nazi Millionaires are placed in 20th position in the Nigerian Professional Football League, and they are swimming in the relegation waters. Okay, let's check on Nigerian players abroad this morning on M Sport on Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM. Let's take that doziaza. Let's check that scorecard this morning. Osiri Dezaza is a man in form. He backed a brace as Feyenoord that defeated Slavia Praha 3-1 away and booked a place in the semi-finals of the Europa Conference League yesterday night. Feyenoord qualified for the semis at 6-4 on aggregate after the first leg ended 3-all. Also, they have reached their first European semi-final since 2002. The Nigerian compatriots Peter Olayinka and Koliso were in action for Slavia Praha. The Czech Republic defender, talking about Tarasa Charabala, was shown a straight red card in the final seconds of that game. Okay, Desas gave Feyenoord the perfect start after breaking the deadlock just 2 minutes into the game. Slavia Praha also drew level on 14 minutes thanks to Ibrahim Traore, but Desas got his second on 59 minutes to make it 2-1 to Feyenoord. Desas and his Feyenoord teammates will now take on Marseille in the semi-final. Right, the second semi-final is between Leicester City and AS Roma. Talking about Leicester City, let's bring you news about Nigerian players down there. Alright, Kelechi Promise Iheanacho and Ademola Lookman featured for Leicester City, who came from a goal down to beat PSV Eindhoven 2-1 and qualify for the semi-finals of the UEFA Europa Conference League. Leicester City have now qualified for their first ever European semi-final. Iheanacho was in the starting 11 before going off on 65th minute, while Lookman, who had a hand in Leicester's win, came on for a heavy bounce before the start of the second half, with the first leg ending goalless. PSV took the lead in the reverse fixture thanks to Herana Zahavi in the 27th minute. Okay, good one for Leicester City, who are also through to the semi-finals of the European Cup competition. Okay, as we build ahead to the big one, talking about the African Cup of Nations next year in Cote d'Ivoire, let's inform you that African greats Lucas Radabe and Salomon Kalou will be the two draw assistants for the Cote d'Ivoire 2023 group stages draw on Tuesday night next week. Ex-South African international defender Radabe and former Cote d'Ivoire striker Kalou will join CAF Director of Competitions as Samson Adamu for the draw. The former Bafana defender and Captain Radabe was a member of the South African team that won the 1996 African Cup of Nations, where he made 4 appearances in Africa's flagship football competition, having played in the tournament of 1996, 1998, 2000 and 2002. Kalou, the former Chelsea player, was a key attacker for the Elephants when they won the AFCON in 2015 in Equatorial Guinea. He scored 5 goals in the 6 appearances in the tournament as he featured in 2008, 2010, 2012, 2013, 2015 and 2017 editions of the Continental Showpiece event. Okay, let's move ahead and switch gears and bring you games. Talking about a report of games from the Europa Conference League, not forgetting the Europa League in Europe.
Right.
Moving straight to the Europa League, where Eintracht Frankfurt stunned Barcelona with a dramatic victory at the Camp Nou to set up a Europa League semi-final clash against West Ham United. After the first leg had finished 1-1, the German side stormed into a 3-0 lead in the second and looked in control before 2 late goals for Barcelona, where Philip Kostic penalty and Rafael Borges superb strike were followed up by another Kostic goal after the break, but Sergio Busquets effort and Memphis Depay penalty set up a tense finish. Frankfurt defender Evan Dinkala was also sent off for a second yellow card for what looked a soft foul on Luke de Jong for the spot kick with 9 minutes added on following a VAR malfunction. But Frankfurt, who sits 9th in the Bundesliga and won this competition in its previous guise in 1980, saw out a memorable victory to the delight of their almost 30,000 travelling fans. In other games, let's bring you news coming from the Ibr92.5FM Stadium. Good one for Rangers, who are into the Europa League semi-final. After Kemar Roof's extra time winner settled a poor sitting tie with Braga, who finished with 9 men. James Tavernia's early goal cancelled out the Portuguese side first leg lead before he had Ibrox on his feet again with a first half penalty moment after Victor Tomeda was sent off. Rangers was utterly dominant, hitting the woodwork twice and having 3 strikes disallowed, but that profligacy was punished when David Camus header forced extra time. However, a tie with Leipzig was sealed when Rafael knocked in from close range. Okay, moving straight to the Netherlands, where it was a good one for Leicester City. Talking about the Foxes. right, James Madison says Leicester City are creating history after the Foxes produced a superb comeback to beat PSV Eindhoven in the Europa Conference League and reach the club's first European semi-final. Ricardo Pereira scored a dramatic late winner to set up a last-four meeting with Jose Mourinho's Roma, winning a goalless first leg at the King Power Stadium. Ran Zahavi pounced on a mistake by Yuri Tielemans to open the scoring before Madison dragged Leicester level with 13 minutes remaining. The Foxes midfielder slotted into the top corner from Jose Perez, clever cut back, and Pereira then fired the winner in the 88th minute to seal a memorable win at the Philips Stadion. Good one, Leicester City through to the semi-final of the Europa Conference League, and good one for another English team. Talking about the Hammers, West Ham United, who hammered Lyon in France. West Ham United will face Eintracht Frankfurt for a place in the Europa League's semi-final rather, after the Hammers secured their first European semi-final in 46 years with a stunning second leg victory in Lyon. And after the game, Pablo Fornals spoke about the belief in the team and the atmosphere at full time, with West Ham United through to the semi-finals.
I think everyone in the dressing room is the same. The feeling is unbelievable. Personally, I played twice this competition, but never been more than quarterfinals. So really happy. To be fair, is what we've been doing these last 2 years. Just being in a good shape and try to run when we have a space. But obviously, we knew in this stadium with the people winning 2-0, isn't a really easy game. In a moment in this competition, you can be in a draw, you can be out. So that goal in the early part of the second half was even more easy for play the rest of the game for us. Well, in this moment, everyone who is in semi-finals, I think, deserve it. So I don't really care against. Just if we are all together, I think we have big chances to play against every team. We showed everyone what we are doing in Premier League for these 2 seasons. So I think right now is everything 50-50.
Great achievement for David Moyes and the Hammers, who are through to the semi-finals of Europe competition. Let's move ahead and inform you this morning that Scotland's World Cup playoff semi-final with Ukraine has been rescheduled for 1st of June, with the winner playing Wales in the final 4 days later. The Hampden semi-final was due to be played on 24th March, but Ukraine asked FIFA to postpone the title following Russia's invasion of the country. Still staying in Europe this morning on M Sports on Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM, where Belgium, Netherlands, Poland and Wales have now declared interest in hosting the 2022-2023 UEFA Nations League finals. European's football governing body have announced the deadline to submit final bids those years is October 5th, and the host will be appointed in January 2023. The finals will be held from June 14th to 18th, 2023. Okay, let's move straight to the National Basketball Association, the NBA, talking about games to expect in the early hours of tomorrow. And let's inform you that Atlanta Hawks will lock arms with Cleveland Cavaliers, and of course it will be the turn of New Orleans Pelicans and of course LA Clippers. Boxing, World Heavyweight Champion Tyson Fury says retirement is not on his mind before his bout with Dillian White. The unbeaten Fury faces his fellow Brit at a sold-out Wembley Stadium on 23rd April. At the news conference to announce the fight last month, Fury said he would 100% retire after hits, but he has backtracked right now. Talking about Tyson Fury moving back from its words. Okay, in tennis, the last salvo from me this morning, the third ranked Alexander Zverev beats Pablo Blue Arena boaster 6-7-5 at the Monte Carlo Masters to reach the quarterfinals of the clay court season opener in Monaco. Arena boaster broke as Zverev to open the second set and built a 3-1 lead before the German leader setting up a quarterfinal match against Yannick Isner. Sina beats its ranked and Rublev 5-7, 6-1, 6-3 to advance, winning 6 straight games in the second set and dominating the decider before wrapping it up with a 7th breaker. Well, it's a wrap on today's edition of VM Sports on Ibr92.5FM, and of course it's a wrap for this week's edition of your breakfast sports show on radio. Please join us this afternoon for the Good Friday edition of Total Sport, your daily sports tonic on radio. But before then, we can join Abdulafiz Afolabi, Mr. MVP, and his crew for Jawon Beta, the Yoruba edition of the show. Big thanks also to my producer here, talking about DJ IBK Bagi. Until we come your way again by 3:05 p.m. My name is Isaiah Akinrem. Good morning.
Amutajero, Ibr92.5 FM, Ibadan. We are black. Bigger, better. We are the people. We are Impact Business Radio 92.5 FM. The only business radio in Southwest Nigeria. Don't touch that dial. So sad. The Academic Staff Union of Universities is on strike again, and this time an agonizing 8-week strike. As an undergraduate, should you just sit down at home and while away the time? Should you just put your life and your future on hold as ASU and the federal government drag it out? Why not take advantage of this break to learn something new, as promoted by the Impact School of Broadcasting and Communication? Are you a mass communication student? A student of communication and language arts? Do you have a passion to be a broadcaster or a presenter on radio and television? This is a window of opportunity being opened to you by the Impact School of Broadcasting and Communication. In 4 intensive weeks, you can be put through the basics of broadcasting with hands-on practical training on our radio and television stations. Do not just sit down and watch as the weeks roll into months. Do something today and enroll for this 4-week training, scheduled to run from Monday 4th of April to Friday 29th of April 2022. For further information, contact Femi Makpaderun on 0803-326-4646. You will be glad you did. So sad.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bí àwẹ̀ Ramadan ṣe ń lọ lọ́wọ́ tí mùsùlùmí ṣiṣẹ́ olóore, ọlọ́ọ̀bá ìlékè ọlá òní dùn wá ládàá inshallah láti wá jẹ nínú oúnjẹ ẹ̀kọ́ tó sodo sínú àwẹ̀ Ramadan nílé iṣẹ́ rédíò wa Amutajero Impact Business Radio IBR 92.5 FM pẹ̀lú àjọṣepọ̀ ilé